Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this explosive edition of entertainment news where the lines between celebrity charm and raw emotion blur in the most unexpected ways. Today, we're diving deep into the viral moment that's got Hollywood buzzing and social media on fire. Josh Holloway, the rugged heartthrob forever etched in our minds as the sly Sawyer from Lost, storming off the set of the Kelly Clarkson Show after a clash that felt more like a dramatic scene from one of his action flicks than a casual daytime chat. Picture this. It's a bright, lively morning in the bustling studios of Los Angeles, the kind where the sun filters through the windows promising lighthearted banter and feel-good stories. Kelly Clarkson, the powerhouse vocalist turned talk show queen, is in her element, her infectious energy lighting up the room as she belts out a soulful Kellyoke rendition of an old classic, her voice wrapping around the audience like a warm embrace. The crowd is electric, clapping along, unaware that in just a few short segments, their beloved host and a guest known for his brooding intensity will collide in a way that no scriptwriter could have penned. As the applause dies down, Kelly transitions seamlessly into introductions, her smile wide and genuine, teasing the lineup that includes the effervescent Elizabeth Banks promoting her latest thriller series, the satirical genius Randy Rainbow with his timely political parodies, and of course Josh Holloway, here to hype his gritty new role in the HBO Max series Duster. A tale of 1970s outlaws and high-stakes chases that promises to reignite the fire that made him a star over a decade ago. The studio hums with anticipation, cameras rolling smoothly, producers in the control room exchanging nods of approval as everything seems perfectly orchestrated. But beneath the polished surface, tensions simmer, waiting for that one spark to ignite. The spark ignites with Josh's response, his voice laced with a raw honesty that slices through the studio's cheerful ambience like a knife through silk. Kelly, with all due respect, it's not about breaking free, it's about surviving the damn machine that chews you up and spits you out if you don't play the part, he says, his blue eyes flashing with a mix of defiance and exhaustion that hasn't been seen since his island exile in Lost. The audience gasps softly, a ripple of surprise traveling through the rows as Kelly's eyebrows shoot up, her quick wit momentarily caught off guard by the intensity. She's no stranger to tough talks. Her show has hosted raw confessions from stars like Oprah on resilience and Adele on heartbreak, but this feels different, more pointed, as if Josh is unloading years of pent-up frustration not just at her, but at the faceless executives, the tabloid vultures, the fans who adore the image but ignore the man. Kelly recovers swiftly, her southern charm kicking in as she tilts her head, smiling through the sting, and counters, "I get that, Josh, I do, I've been there, fighting for my voice in a world that wanted me silent and smiling. But isn't calling it out part of the freedom? Hiding behind the role just keeps the cycle going." Her words are measured, empathetic yet probing, drawn from the well of her own triumphs over industry bullies who once labeled her too much. The bandleader cues a subtle musical bridge, but it falls flat against the thickening silence, the cameras capturing every micro-expression, Josh's jaw clenching, Kelly's fingers twisting the hem of her vibrant dress, the audience leaning forward in rapt attention. Whispers erupt from the wings. Elizabeth Banks, waiting in green room for her segment, peeks out curiously, while Randy Rainbow, ever the observer, jots notes for a potential parody sketch. With the studio lights beaming down like judgmental spotlights, the verbal sparring reaches its fever pitch, Josh's chair scraping back slightly as he gestures emphatically, his words tumbling out in a torrent that echoes the chaotic energy of Duster's outlaw chases. Broken? Kelly, we're all broken. It's the glue of pretending otherwise that keeps the show running, but damn if it doesn't wear you thin. His admission hangs raw and unfiltered, drawing a smattering of empathetic murmurs from the crowd, some wiping away tears at the universality of the pain he's voicing. Kelly, her host's poise cracking just a fraction, places a hand on the desk between them, her rings glinting under the glare, and replies with the fierce protectiveness of someone who's mentored countless guests through their storms. "Then let's not pretend, Josh, let's shatter the illusion right here. Tell them how it really feels, because hiding it helps no one." It's a bold invitation, her voice a blend of challenge and compassion, reminiscent of her powerhouse ballads where she lays her soul bare. The audience erupts in supportive applause, chanting "Tell it," in a wave that swells the energy, but Josh pauses, his chest rising and falling with labored breaths, the weight of the moment pressing down. In that suspended silence, flashbacks to his career montage on the screens, clips of Sawyer's smirks, Colony's rebels, Yellowstone's ranch wars, serve as unintended irony, underscoring the very traps he's railing against. Randy Rainbow, from his perch in the wings, exchanges wide-eyed glances with Bowen Yang and Matt Rogers, the comedy duo whispering about turning this into gold for their epic universe bit later. Elizabeth Banks, ever the director at heart, mentally blocks the scene as if it's her next film, sensing the pivot point where dialogue becomes action. The tipping point arrives in a blur of motion and emotion, Josh's chair fully pushed back now, his frame towering as he paces a tight circle on the polished stage floor, the audience's murmurs swelling into a symphony of concern and curiosity. Performance? That's all it ever is, Kelly. Us dancing for the applause while the real stories rot unspoken, he declares, his words a manifesto born of midnight monologues to empty hotel rooms, the toll of a career that demanded invincibility. Kelly rises halfway from her seat, her hands outstretched in a gesture of universal plea, her voice a melodic anchor amid the storm. Then stop dancing alone, Josh. We're here, all of us. Let it out, not out the door. The plea resonates, drawing cheers from the front rows where die-hard Lost fans clutch faded convention badges, their hero's vulnerability a gift wrapped in turmoil. But Josh, sweat beading on his brow under the unforgiving Klieg lights, shakes his head, the leather jacket suddenly feeling like armor too heavy to bear. You don't get it, out the door is the only honest move left sometimes. I've smiled through enough facades to last 3 lifetimes. His confession lands like a mic drop, the studio erupting in a cacophony of reactions, applause mingling with no stay chants, phones flashing as clips race across TikTok and Instagram, amassing views in the tens of thousands by the minute. Backstage, the energy is frantic. Makeup artists hover, ready to powder away the sheen of conflict, while segment producers debate splicing this into a real moment's reel or burying it deep in the vault. Elizabeth Banks slips onto a side monitor feed, her eyes glued to the drama, later confiding in interviews that it reminded her of method acting gone awry, the blur of character and self. Randy Rainbow, mic in hand for his impending spot, ad-libs a satirical aside to the crew about Lost in Clarkson, lightening the gloom momentarily. As the commercial break fades and the show hurtles back to air, the studio pulses with a charged undercurrent, the audience still abuzz from Josh's dramatic exit, there whispers a low hum beneath the upbeat theme music. Kelly reemerges with renewed vigor, her smile a testament to resilience, launching into Elizabeth Banks' segment with effusive praise for the better sister, the actress's taut legal drama that's climbing streaming charts. Elizabeth, after that roller coaster, I need some sisterly solidarity. Kelly jokes, eliciting relieved laughter that eases the room's tension like a deep breath after a sprint. Banks, sharp as ever in a crimson blazer that mirrors her on-screen intensity, dives in seamlessly, sharing tales of directing her own episodes, the empowerment of women helming narratives in a male-dominated genre. The pivot works its magic, the crowd leaning in as clips roll of gripping courtroom showdowns, but sidelong glances dart to the empty guest chair where Josh sat moments ago, a void that's anything but vacant in collective memory. Backstage, Josh paces the green room, phone in hand scrolling the nascent storm of reactions, supportive DMs from lost co-stars like Evangeline Lilly flooding in, mixed with trollish jabs calling him diva. He exhales, splashing water on his face, the mirror reflecting a man at crossroads, grateful for the outburst's release yet wary of its repercussions. A producer knocks gently, offering an out, we can reshoot your bit later, no hard feelings. Josh demurs, nah, let it stand, truth's messy. Meanwhile, on stage, Randy Rainbow takes the spotlight, his satirical takedown of election season follies landing with precision timing, the audience roaring at parodies that deftly sidestep the elephant in the room while nodding to its presence.